Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card, which I'm calling a split tower card. I don't know if it has another name. I got the idea from Pinterest. The card that I saw there was just this, and it stands up because it's got a nice flat base, but I've added it onto a single card base. What I found with my first one, I think this is what happened. I don't think the base of my cut here was straight. I think this end was possibly a bit wider than that end, only by an absolute tad. But when it was a single card, it was difficult to make sure it stood up properly. Okay, and I thought if you have a similar mistake like that, or if you don't line it up properly at the bottom there, it's not going to notice because this will help it stand up properly. Okay. So yes, because it didn't have a name, I couldn't find out if anybody else has made a video of it. So this is my take on a card that I saw. So I'm going to start off by telling you the card pieces that I've used. I'm going to give you the inches for A4 cardstock users, and I will give you centimetres as well as the inches in the box below the video for this size. I will also give you the inches measurements for people who use letter sized cardstock, which is North America. Okay, and also because there is a lot of, it takes quite a bit of time to adhere all these layers together, I have actually made the 3 that I'm going to be using for the video, but so that I don't cause too much confusion, what I'm going to show you now are all the card pieces that you're going to need. My plan is, once I've finished the video, the leftover pieces that I'm going to have in here, which will be all of these leftover pieces, I will use to make a second card using that. Okay, so nothing's going to be wasted during the making of this video. So I'm going to start off with, I'm going to be using Moody Mauve cardstock, and this measures 8 inches by 5 3/4 inches, scored and folded at 4 inches. So this is our regular size C6 card base, except this is 4 inches instead of 4 1/8 inches. It was just easier to use those measurements trying to do the divisions with all the rest of it. So we've lost 1/8 of an inch there. Then you need 2 pieces of basic white cardstock, which are for the middle layers, one on the top of the card and one on the inside of the card. And you will also need, sorry, that measures 5 5/8 inches by 3 7/8 inches. And you will also need 1 piece of Wildly Flowering Designer Series Paper, and this is what I'm calling the top layer for the card front, and this measures 5 1/2 inches by 3 3/4 inches. I'm not putting an extra layer on the inside, it'd be like that. Now for these 3 strips here, you need a piece of paper that measures 5 3, a piece of cardstock that is 5 3/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches. Now the reason this is in so saffron is because I've actually run out of Moody Mauve. This is one of the colours that will be in colours that will be retiring next May, and I've been trying to run down my cardstock, and now I've actually run out of this one, so I'm going to have to order another packet of it. So I'm just using another colour, and I'll show you how I got that far with them. Okay, so this is 5 3/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches. Let's put that there because I'll be working on that one. And then you will need for your layers in there, olive green in that one. I'm going to be using white on this. And what you need are 12 pieces of basic white cardstock that measure 3 3/4 of an inch by 1 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so this is what I've done. I've saved time. You're not going to have to watch me glue all of these. And then you will also need, and I've laid this out like this for a reason, that way. These are the pieces that I'm going to be using on these. And just in case you think, no, not you think, just in case you're using a design that's going down here that is actually directional, for example, if it's got stripes in it or something like that, it would be easier if, as you cut them, you lay each in the row in the direction that they're going to be going in, and then adhere them in. I've adhered them in place like this for the sake of the video because I didn't want to have to keep laying them out, but you could also copy this idea. This paper here is actually post-it note tape, and I just took a strip of this and cut it in half, did one there and two there, and then this will be used, this won't go to waste, I'll be using it when I do die cutting with my Big Shot. So it doesn't matter on these aren't consecutive patterns, so it really doesn't matter whether these are in order or not. I just did that to show you in case you do want your patterns to follow on. What I suggest you do is have a close look at the photographs of this card and also the other cards that I will be showing you later. I've got another two to show you, and have a look, because all of those I have done with the pattern actually following on. But have a look at it and see if you think, well, yeah, I can see that that's following on, and therefore it would be important to you. But if you think, no, I can't tell, because there's quite a big gap from there to there, so it's difficult to tell whether that is actually, I mean, this does follow on. All right, so those little, I'll bring it up closer to you. So those little berries there follow on to the berries there. And on here, these gold lines, they go up, following up there. Okay. Now, I'm sure if you just looked at that, you wouldn't think, oh, that's clever, that's all following on. I don't think it shows, which is why I don't think, I mean, obviously I had to try it, but as I say, I don't think it works, so I'm not going to be worrying about these. So I will just, as I've got this bit done, no, I will do this bit first. This is the important bit. So I'm going to get my trimmer over. Now you've got, this is 4.5 inches that way, and it's 5 3/4 inches that way. Now what you need to do, on the 5 3/4 inch side, the longer side, you need to score this at 7/8 of an inch, and then 1 3/4 inches, take your cardstock out, turn it, line it up again and score at 7/8 of an inch, and then 1 3/4 inches. Now if you turn your cardstock, so you've got the 4.5 inches up here, you're going to cut at 1.5 and 1.5. So you've got 3 strips already scored, and they all measure 1.5 inches deep. Okay, so that's all I'm going to need the trimmer for today. Now, because I haven't actually made this exact card before, I'm not quite sure on how I'm going to be decorating it. Now, the reason I've used So Saffron is because it is a retired colour. So what you need to do is to do mounting folds for the 2 inside scores and valley folds for the 2 outside folds. Make sure they line up on both sides, all of them. That is, if you did that a little bit wrong, that could also make your card not stand up properly if you did the single fold. Okay, so this is what you have. You should finish up with 3 of them, which is what I've done ahead of time. Okay, so these are going to be my 3. I'm going to make up just one of these. The others I will do afterwards. As I say, I've already got them up there. So what I do is I take 3 of these, just make sure that I do keep them up the right way. And then I need 4 of these. And I'm going to use Tombow. Right, it's okay putting your glue on all 4 pieces, but that's assuming that you're not going to get any interruptions, like the phone ringing, or hubby comes into the room, or something like that. But I'm home alone today, so I know there's not going to be any interruptions. Phone is switched off, mobile is switched off, computer's switched off, and the doorbell's switched off. Just hope somebody doesn't try delivering a parcel. But hey ho. Oh, I've missed out some pieces for you, haven't I? I've missed out these pieces. Let me just finish doing this piece, oops, and then I'll go back to that. Right, you're getting yourself in a real 2 and 8 here. Put that one down there. It won't stick down because it's on my silicone mat. Make sure that's up the right way. Okay, keep them up the right way, then I'm going to adhere them on my strip. By the way, the Designer Series paper I used for the card that I've shown you, the Christmas card, that was actually made with the DSP that I showed you a couple of videos ago, where I said it was available as an online exclusive. I try not to promote online exclusives because, unlike the catalogue, they don't actually have a specified lifetime. It's while stocks last, and I really wouldn't want to make a video showing something and then you not being able to get the products. You know, once they're gone type of thing, although some they will be replacing. But somebody did mention that she liked the paper, so could I actually make a card and show what it looked like. So that's why I've done that one for you. The other thing I was disappointed to find when I ordered that Designer Series paper, which I think is called Season of Green and Gold, I didn't realise there was a stamp set to go with it and a set of dies, which I have now ordered. Anyway, the other pieces that I've missed out were for this. Okay, so you need 3 pieces of basic white, and they need to measure, not these, that one is Rogue. I've lost the proper one because that's not the right size, so ignore that. There you go, it looks like the right size now. These measure 2 1/8 inches by 1 3/8 inches, and you need 3 of them. I'm only going to be playing with one. I have to remember that one's wrong when I come to put my last one together. And then you need 3 pieces of Wildly Flowering DSP, and these measure 2 inches by 1 1/4 inches. Okay, so I'll just take one of these, glue this on. You'll also need a scrap of Whisper White, possibly Basic White, possibly also Moody Mauve, depending on how you're going to decorate yours. As I say, I haven't quite decorated mine yet, so I'm not sure. I think I'm going to be using butterflies. As I say, all the measurements will be in the box below the video. Right, that one. And then I'm going to measure it on the centre bit. Right, there we go. So you need to put together your 3 strips like that. If you're following along with me, just stop the video for a while so you can catch up with doing those 3. Right, so I think I'm ready to start putting this together. Okay, again, I used Tombow. When I first came back to making videos after my illness, I did try to use, not snail, Stamp and Seal, and I like it, but I just don't think you can beat snail. And also on the inside of this one, while I'm just gluing, I've decorated this with bells, and these bells are actually from this Designer Series paper. I fussy cut them. And these 2, my husband thought I'd done really well by cutting these in half, but no, that was on that edge of the Designer Series paper, and that one was on that side of the DSP paper, and I thought, well, why waste it? So I cut it off, and he thought it was one cut in half. I mean, if you concentrate on that, it's clearly not, but, you know, waste not, want not. Actually, I was trying to show you that while I was gluing. I forgot I can't do 2 things at once with my hands. Let's pop this one in. Okay, come down a little bit. That's it. Don't go sideways. Yep, that's it. Okay, so that's my card put together. So if I get these 3 down, as I say, they're not in any particular order. I am choosing to put this one in the middle because the one in the middle with the cards that I've made tend, well, 2 out of 3, it's that bit that gets covered up most. So leave that one like that. So I tend to start off with this bottom one, and basically what you need to do is, I'll just hold it in place first to show you where you're going to glue this. Right, okay, as best as I can on this. You're going to glue that so that the edge of this strip here meets the edge of the card, and this edge here is going to meet the edge of that base, and likewise this meets the edge and that meets the edge. And if you do that, one, it will stand up nicely, and secondly, that will fold over well to go into your card or your envelope. Okay, so the way I do this one is, oops, let's get rid of these. Right, okay. So I'm going to put Tombow on both the outside edges, but I'm just going to leave about 1/8 of an inch on the outside edge. And the reason I'm doing that is because there's a bit of a drop because of the layers here. This actually goes down, and I'd rather this just goes straight over it. If I tried bending it down, the card would look really funny. Okay, so I've done those. That's where I was a bit clumsy with my Tombow. Whoops. Beauty of this silicone nut, you just rub it off with your fingers. Did I? No. Right, just make sure it's up the right way again. Now I'm going to keep one end up, and I'm going to concentrate on this one first, making sure it goes right into the corner. And when I'm happy, now this will move because it's got Tombow on it, which is okay because it does give you a bit of time to do this side. Okay, so bring that up, make sure it goes down. So both sides are stuck down now. Okay, and that's your first bit of your tower. And obviously it's going to stand up beautifully. So the next one I do is the one at the top. So I turn my card round, and I remember to turn this one round. I don't know if you can see that there is a design. In fact, that design there is the background of these white, blue and green flowers and leaves. I'm going to turn it over again and put the glue on it. Again, don't go too close to this edge. Okay, my card is upside down, my strip is upside down. Put that out of the way. So I'm going to do my first one, again, right up into the top corner. The idea is so that this white line looks as if it's carrying on from that one, and this DSP is carrying on from there. Then fold that over, make sure you're going across straight, and then lay that one down. And bring this one up and over. Okay, so now I'm going to do the middle one. The reason I do it this way is because I can eyeball the distance between there and there. If they look more or less the same, then that's good to go. So let's put some more glue. Right, first of all, make sure it's up the right way. Then fold that one out of the way. Bring this over. And all you need to do now is line it up to this edge. And judge, you're about halfway there. That's about halfway for my eyes. Bend it over, hold it, place that one down. Hold that. That's better. Make sure that goes down, that goes down. So there we go. Okay, so there's your card. Simple, isn't it? Now, this is a great card to make. It's very relaxing. It takes a bit of time, as I say, because of all of these layers. But if card making is your hobby, then time isn't an issue. It's only an issue if you need a greeting card in a hurry. This is not your solution at all. Right, okay, so to decorate this, I'm thinking about using butterflies, but I've also got some of these flowers here, which I've already stamped, painted and coloured. Before I go any further, I want to show you the dies and stamp sets I'm using. Now forget that, that was from a leftover project and I'm not going to be using that one now. Now for the sentiment, I used this set of dies, which is this stitched nested labels. Now they are retired. You probably know that I never ever get rid of my layering dies. I find them just too useful to get rid of. I thought that was going to look a bit cleaner when I brought it out of this. These get covered in bits of glue after a while. So that was that. That was stitched, nested, whatever. Obviously it'll be the happy birthday. Right, now these here are from this stamp set, which is called Wildflower Designs, and it has dies with it. So this has dies for that, and that. And you've seen me use this several times. In fact, I must be due to be able to start using that again, because I know I used it virtually every time for all my cards, so I said I'd take a break from it, and I've been true to my word. Now the sentiment that I'm going to be using is Happy Birthday, which is from Translucent Florals, and this is the set of dies that goes with it. So there's dies for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep. And then you've got little flowers and petals. In fact, remember these flowers, because I'm going to be using something similar, which is a leftover. Oh yes, I have got the stamp set out that I've got them from, and the dies. But if you don't have the next one, at least you'll be able to use that when I show you what I'm doing with that one. So that's that. This one, oh, this is the one that I'm using these flowers from. I'm only using these ones because I had leftovers. As you know, I often do more than I really need. So yeah, if you don't have this stamp set of dies, then you could always use the Translucent Florals if you've got that. And there are other stamp sets that you could use, die sets that you can use as well. Now the butterflies I'm hoping to use come from the Sketched Butterflies dies, and it's a toss-up between that and that. I've got them all die cut ready, both in Moody Mauve and also in white. So we're going to have a look, see what I want to use. Now, do I want to use these first of all? These stand out better than I imagined that they might do. If I did that and that, there's a butterfly as well. It looks a bit heavy, I think. What if I just used this colour? That might be quite nice. Right, okay, before I make any final decisions on what I'm doing with this one, the sentiment, which I did have a piece of cardstock here a moment ago. Yes, here it is. And this is the stamp I'm using, and I'm using Moody Mauve ink. Right, I might as well do two while I'm here, especially if I'm going to be ordering another pack of Moody Mauve. Okay, now I've already die cut mine. That's here. True Blue Peter style. First I didn't think that was looking very straight. Now what I tend to do is, and it's not written in stone, I tend to pop that one on there, so that would look good. That one could go there. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Or shall I put that one up there, because it's quite heavy, isn't it? Now when you're working out your design, as you can tell, I can only concentrate on one thing at a time. You can allow your designs to come over on this side as long as you fold your card down that way, or you can allow your things to come over by that amount as long as you fold your card down that way. Otherwise you're going to fold it down, it's going to come over that way, and you'll need a different size envelope. Now I am really hesitating here. Shall I put this one up here? Put the big one down here? No. Or shall I use, there's a medium sized one. I'll get back to the little one on there. Or shall I use the butterfly? I think I'm going to be doing that. Make my butterfly go over, but I'll make sure my card comes over that way. I don't think I'll do that one there. put that more in the middle, bring that down a bit, and then this one here. I'm undecided about this. I wonder if you're shouting at me. Oh, that would be alright. Do that. Move that one up a bit. And that looks better, doesn't it? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So first of all, I'm going to use some dimensionals to put on the... Yep, I knew I brought them over with me. Put the dimensions on this one first. I could trim some of the stems off, but when they're stamped like that, you can see that ends have been cut off. Let's just try and get this on straight. Set it down that way. So much easier to get this straight when you're holding it up towards you. Okay, so that's those bits. Now I'm going to slide that under. Yep, I think I'll slide that one under. So I need glue on those bits there. Do remember not to put glue on the bits that are going to be hanging off. In fact, I could probably put more glue on that, but that's okay. There's enough there to hold. It's not going above, but I won't be able to close them down that way. Alright. So what did I say next? I said this one, didn't I? I think I did that. No, I didn't. But that was on its own. Maybe I did it that way. Ah, we're going to do it this way. That's right. So I'm going to put my butterfly. I've already folded his body there, so I can put the glue on it. Now I'm going to put this so that it's not going to be coming over the edge. It can go over the top or the bottom of the middle one, off the bottom of the top one, off the top of the bottom one. Okay, so that's all right. Yep. Just don't do glue on top or bottom. Now, if you decide that you want to do something where you're gluing from one to the other, like I did with this, that's glued up here and down here, that's glued at the top and glued at the bottom. Make sure that you've got them in exactly the right places so that you can still close them down. Okay, if you've got that to one side and that to one side, I suppose it should still work, shouldn't it? But just bear that in mind to make sure that when you're opening and closing it will still work together. Now this one I am going to do about there. So I'm only putting glue on the bottom bit. Like that. Okay, so something else I found, the little flowers, that's these things, and they had already been, it looks like two stuck together. Yeah, on those two dies that were strips, I've adhered the little one on top of the small one, and what I'm going to do is once I've applied these onto my card, I'm going to put a little pearl in them as well. So let me show you that. I'm going to have to do some more of these to do this for my second card. I've got 7 of them, which is an odd number to have, and I'm going to do, oh no, I'm doing 4, aren't I? Because I'm just going to do them in between the strips, okay, decorating that bit out there. I'll bring this close to you so you can see it once I've done. I don't know how visible it's going to be from where you are seeing through the camera. I wanted to do one using the ducks. I think that'll be a great paper for this. Right, so now that I've done that, I'm going to pop a little a pearl in the centre of my flowers to give them a little bit of a pop. If I can see my piercer. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put just a tiny little dab of glue in there, because there's actually a hole been die cut out at the centre of that top flower. That one's blowing bubbles at me. There we go. Just give it a few seconds to... no. That's it. Yep. That's it. Then I think to finish off the inside of the card, I'll use one of those other images that I've stamped and dated. Stamped and painted. There we go. Let me just bring that up close so you can see what I've been doing. Okay. So what do you think? I like that. I don't want you going under there. Yeah. See, that'll go in the card beautifully. So let's see what we do on the inside. I have that one, or I could put a couple of little butterflies. I think I prefer the painted ones. So what should we have? That's the most solid. That's too much. I'd obviously used that on something else. Pulled it off. Waste not, want not again, isn't it? Okay, so let's do this one. we go. So that's today's card. Really lovely, really easy. It's just a bit time consuming, but I think for the result of it, it's really worth it. Yep, stands up beautifully. So you've seen the one that I've made, you've seen my Christmas card. I will put the product codes on my blog on the today, the day that this goes live rather, which will be, this will be going live on the 29th of September 2024. Okay, so it's that one, that one. This one is more stable. So that's a good idea to do it like that, because it means that that's always going to be stand level, where these might decide to go walkabouts from each other. So the other ones I have is, first of all, as I always do, with the retired Flight and Airy Designer Series Paper. This was another one. In fact, these are different flowers I've used on this one, look. But I still put the pearl in the middle. Okay, so there's that one, and inside, see, that's stable because it's stuck together, but I can't put it in the envelope like that because that sticks out. So it has to go that way. Okay, and inside, did I decorate this? Yes, of course I did. Okay, so there's that one. And this one is a Designer Series paper I bought, and I wasn't quite sure about it. I can't remember exactly what you got in the pack. I think it was 3 sheets of reversible Designer Series paper and 3 sheets of these die cuts. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to use them. I have tried on several cards, but they really came into their own on this. Okay, what do you think of that? This is a lot more solid if you join them together. Oh, well, there you go. Extra tip that I didn't think I knew that I'd be able to give you. So there we go. That's the other one. I hope you like this project, and I hope you give it a go. Let's see if I'll get these all in the screen for you. I will be writing about them on my blog again on the 29th of September 2024. If you would like to purchase any of the products I've used here, the only retired product I've used is this die there, okay, but these are all current and everything. Oh, and the Designer Series paper on this one. I will list the products that I've used for today's card in the box below my video and on my blog, and I will also try and list out the other products that I've used on these cards that are available. Okay, if you do shop with me in my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop, I'd really be grateful. And if you shop during September, this will be the hostess code that you need to use so that I can send you a free gift when I send you your thank you card, handmade thank you card and handmade thank you gift at the beginning of October. If you want to place an order after that time, the new hostess code number will be on my blog. My blog is www.JanBCards.com. Okay, many thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you give it a try. In the meantime, happy crafting. Cheerio.